All right. Yeah, guys, thanks so much for having me. It's a pleasure to welcome you to my short presentation on our graduate program at Capgemini Australia. And our program is something that's, I don't want to be too hyperbolic, but we consider it a real jewel of our company and a real source of pride in our business. We're passionate about technology and delivering quality consulting services, but we are just as passionate about finding and really nurturing and developing our entry-level consultants as well, of which I was also one at one stage. I can proudly say, as I sort of touched on before, that many of our grads are still around after even a decade of their starting dates, and some have spent even shorter amount of time here and find themselves in senior management positions. And I think they stay because really Capgemini is a really great way to develop. To introduce myself, I am James Schlunke. My name is a little hard to pronounce, but I am entirely forgiving at first instance. I don't think I would have had any clue either if I saw that name for the first time. If there are any of those who like what they see today and would like to add me on LinkedIn, there are two James Schlunkes on there. There is only two. I am not the zoologist. I am the other guy. Okay. Definitely no credentials in that field, but I should be fairly easy to locate. I'm also a member of the graduate program alumni. I was in delivery for most of my life at Capgemini within the SAP practice. However, I've transitioned into the human resources department as manager of our graduate program now. You will note that I have an academic background in the legal industry, which you might think is an ill fit for that career. But at Cap, something you will see about the way we recruit is we don't always look at the academic discipline behind the candidate. What we're really looking for is a passion for technology and a drive to learn and develop, really. We have everything from former psychologists to tech stack specialists to teachers to even former stand-up comedians and former professional poker players. I've met them all. So we like to look at the whole person, and especially if they'd be a good fit for our culture and work well within our teams. So who are we? I mean, what is Capgemini anyway? What do we do? Well, I'll give you a little bit of history, but not to bore you too much about this. But firstly, you might ask why our logo is an ace of spades. So the ace of spades, as some of you might know, is the highest value card in bridge. It's a game our group founder, whose name is Serge Kampf, played a lot as a student. He also chose that visual on account of it symbolizing good luck and happiness. But very soon after that, he decided to modify it as somewhat of a deformed ace of spades with a crushed base, as you see our logo is now. That way, it was original enough to be distinct and therefore noticeable. And he also selected turquoise blue to represent stability in relation to his information technology activities. And then we added navy blue later on to represent management consulting. Which is actually a good segue into what we do. So Capgemini is a global leader in consulting, technology services, and digital transformation. We're at the forefront of technology across a number of offerings that include IT consulting, management consulting, and even now engineering. We have an extremely large pool of employees, numbering 200,000, and we have those in over 40 countries. 7 shared values have been at the heart of Capgemini since our formation. These values influence the way we meet client needs while respecting the regulatory requirements of each country in the way that we operate, and the way we promote ethically sound practices within Capgemini and in our partnerships. And indeed, Capgemini has been ranked one of Ethisphere's 2021's most ethical companies in the world, and that's the 10th year running that we've been on that list. So what do we do at the Capgemini graduate program, and how do we run things over here? So as part of my role, I offer grads both professional coaching and support. I find positions for graduates in projects, including billable roles. Might be shadowing opportunities, which are also a great way to learn. action learning, and internal work of any sort of stripe to develop their skills. I also work with existing organization operations teams, such as resourcing and learning and development, to align with processes and help create opportunities and projects for the grads. I also take charge of their learning and development, and I take them through core consulting skills at the onboarding when I initially take them into the organization, but I also do that throughout the year. I say a year because the graduate program is part of, it goes for a duration of 1 year from hire. When you join Capgemini, you join as an associate consultant at grad level, and then graduation occurs after a year of participation in the program activities. And if successful, the graduate is promoted to be a consultant. All consultants continue to be provided with pastoral care via the graduate program, whilst in the consultant grade as well. So that's my ongoing commitment to them. And obviously I like to stay in touch and, sort of check on their development as well. However, it's important for me to outline that the graduate program is far, far, far more than just me. The reason the graduate program is a well-oiled machine is that we really are a fully fledged team of people. Indeed, the graduate program consists of 5 operational areas, which I outline as recruitment, initiation, delivery, learning and development, guidance, and mental health and well-being, of course. While I manage the day-to-day management of the program, I'm assisted by the amazing graduate recruitment team of Bobby Matthews and Natasha Gates, who I also work with to identify candidates who might fit our skill set, our needed skill sets, but also our cultural profile as well. That's also something that we screen for. And while I myself are in Melbourne, and our core team managing the execution of the program are located in both Sydney and Melbourne. Our grads, however, are far more dispersed. So the program has participants in Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra, Adelaide, and now Hobart as well. So now we have an offering in Tasmania too. In terms of where we sit within the organisation, we're in the remit of early careers culture and experience capability. Which is just an arm of human resources that we have. So, and here we're led by my predecessor, Janani De Silva. So our collective goal is to offer world-class, highly recognised and highly regarded graduate program to the graduate talent we identify and invite to work with us. And you'll see here that although we do have permanent employees who work on the graduate program full-time, we also work within individual business lines to help ensure graduates get the learning they want and that the experience is sort of tailored to the direction which they'd like to follow. Sometimes the graduate has an idea of this early on, and sometimes it's cultivated through project experience and maybe some of the subject matter that I introduce them throughout the year. Neither of these scenarios means a more or less successful graduate, and very often the graduate can find their calling later on after they've had a breadth of different projects and experiences throughout their first year within their service line. So you can have a really good idea at first, you can have a really good idea later, but it doesn't really make a difference to your success. So a little bit about our vision and our mission and our purpose, because I think this is an important framework for us, at least to sort of identify our goals. So with our vision in the Capgemini graduate program, we want to attract top talent, but it's also to develop and create future leaders, people who bring diverse thought and innovative solutions. These are the thought leaders of our future who will continue our growth as a global leader in consulting and technology. We see our mission above all as really to provide a supportive environment with accelerated career development opportunities, to give people engaging work with diverse people and top tier clients so that every graduate has the opportunity to thrive as a future leader in one of the fastest global digital consulting companies. But equally, a leader isn't always a people manager. A leader can be, a subject matter expert who acts as an example to other employees. That's what we mean in the broader sense. And we also promote people to grades that reflect that expertise too. So you don't have to have people reporting to you in order to blossom. We have other ways of recognizing you. And finally, I think our purpose is to really support our business growth strategy. We are investing in our graduate program a lot. We want to develop future leaders as a result and just establish that sort of solid foundation for business expansion that we're currently going through. That investment is paramount to our future. And not only is it paramount to our future, it's also been shown to work. So it is tried and tested. So the graduate program strategy is to use innovative methods to hire top talent using strength-based assessments. And from the point of engagement, we will identify the candidate's strengths, and we use that to help us build a curated learning and development plan for the successful recruit. So that's something that myself and their service line lead help them create. It's got to be relevant to where they sit in the organization. So the program strategy is to give the graduate a refined and tailored experience, I would say, building their capabilities, supporting their growth, and giving them exposure to different projects in their first years at Capgemini so that they can harness that and try that out with clients. So the mainstream learning for the graduates will be provided in the form of essential masterclasses to teach them the fundamentals required to perform project work. They might be undertaken by myself, they might be undertaken by someone else who's an expert in the field. And over the year, extended lessons will be provided to build on the initial learning. Also included as part of the learning and development program is the inspiration excursions as well that we do. So opportunities will be provided to graduates to visit technology partners as well, to understand partner visions and focus, excursions to innovation hubs and see emerging technologies and concepts, be inspired by the latest works and meetups with graduates participating in other graduate programs as well, to cross-pollinate ideas and be inspired. We think that's important for people's creative thinking as well, which helps you a lot, I think, as a consultant. So I think maybe now I sort of move on to what we're looking for our program. So what sort of graduates would succeed for us? Well, we're really looking for diverse individuals who are open-minded and willing to learn. In return for your hard work and fresh insights, we'll provide you with the incredible opportunities that will accelerate your development, along with the support and the guidance you need as well. That's available to every single grad. We think armed with those two things, that'll allow you to take your career in any direction that you choose. And it does sound, occasionally a little bit cheesy, but we really do think Capgemini is more than just a workplace. It's an organization of opportunity, innovation, and collaboration. And it's where you can make lifelong connections as well. We really support you and help you run and take part in all kinds of initiatives. One of our core values is fun, and you can be involved as much as you like or as little as you like. I myself am a member of the neurodiversity community, and I'm running an internal project for grads to build an app that connects schools to with undernourished children to food providers as well. So there's a lot of stuff that we do on the side, and a lot more that we're involved in outside of our core duties. And we do like people who are looking to be involved in the Capgemini culture in the wider sense, I think. Now, what we're looking for in terms of qualifications. So I guess given that we have a vast array of offerings and service lines, as I sort of touched on before, the degrees that we look for are incredibly diverse as a result. So we are looking heavily at STEM. That accounts for most of our demand, but we are also looking for business analysts, project managers, management consultants. We aren't just looking for computer science and information degrees, although that is obviously a good fit for some of our roles, but some of them require more functional or more project management sort of skill sets that we might find in other disciplines like commerce or law or something like that. And even psychology. We've had a lot of success with people who've undertaken psychology degrees in our business. That said, we do look at the individual first and foremost. This is something that I echoed before. A degree that doesn't appear on this page is certainly not fatal to your chances of working for us at all. We really are looking for the whole candidate. But of course, from our end, we also have to offer the graduate a great experience as well. And but we also bring value to the graduate, but we also bring value to our businesses at the same time. So, we provide the business with a diverse set of people and skill sets, whether it be raw consultant talent waiting to be honed or that supreme technical astuteness that we find in the more technical minded candidates as well. For the graduate, we provide them with the foundations to grow their careers into leaders and industry professionals. We give them world-class projects and exposure to blue chip clients while buttressing them with a thorough and robust support system that we're all a part of at the early careers team. So in 2019, we resolved that the graduate program would intake 100 to 150 graduates a year for the next 5 years to support the business strategy that will grow our business in Australia and New Zealand. Last year, we onboarded 138 grads and lost only 5. In our first Q1 intake alone for 2022, we've already onboarded 74 new candidates as well. But in terms of the experience, just don't take just my word for it. Our graduates have done the hard work for us there. Capgemini Australia has been recognised as a leading employer of choice in IT and management consulting for graduates across the nation. Grad Australia's top 100 graduate employees awarded our company the #1 spot in the management consulting sector with an overall ranking of 13 amongst all graduate employers. And that win is bolstered by recent industry rankings, including the top 10 spot in the Australian Association of Graduate Employers, top graduate employees of 2022 rankings, followed by the 19th position in the Financial Review and Grad Connections top 100 graduate employers. The rankings were based on direct feedback from graduates, online reviews, and popularity amongst graduates. So we can see that we're really growing, not just as a business, but we're not losing the connection with the graduates as we scale and hire more. I'm conscious that I've taken up quite a bit of time there. I'm happy to take any questions if anybody has them.
Hey, James, there's quite a few that's come through the Q&A. Are you able to see the Q&A?
I can. I can. It's a bit awkward on my screen though.
Well, good, mate. Yeah, there's quite a few that came in.
Yeah.
Conscious we only got 1 more minute until the next panelist, so
Sure.
maybe it could be worth for all the students, hit James up on LinkedIn, ask your questions, get in contact with James. I'm sure, yeah, we'll be more than happy to answer them there. But yeah, I think that's a bit of a wrap, James. Thanks for the presentation, mate. Big things in the cards with Capgemini, and yeah, doing some big things in this space.
My pleasure, Taylor. And remember, it's not James. It's not James Schlenker, the zoologist. It's the other guy.
Don't go after the zoologist, guys. Go over to the other one. So there you go. Awesome.